We are back on Euro 2024 tournament mode where EA have surprisingly updated the squads. That's right, we now have access to the likes of Lewis Dunk, like Eberechi Eze, like Cole Palmer, Joe Gomez, Mark Gahey, Adam Wharton, Kobe Miney. There are so many players that were left out of the initial tournament mode. So we will be able to keep things as realistic as possible as we take on our second group stage opponents, Denmark. I did, of course, have to set up a new save for this and recreate as closely as possible the results from episode 1. It was a pretty shaky performance in our opening group stage fixture against Serbia, but we did beat them 2-1, and I have managed to recreate that result with Quick Sim. Denmark, fortunately, did beat Slovenia again here, though, by 2-1 rather than 3. So Group C does stand pretty much as we left it at the end of the first episode. I have also tweaked a couple of things in terms of the formation, the tactics, the player instructions. I want to keep things as close to the way England play in real life, but we've gone with a 4-3-3 attack formation rather than the 4-2-3-1. We are set up in this way in terms of the tactics, keeping slow build-up and possession for now, but we will see how that goes. And I've modified some of these player instructions slightly. The fullbacks are going to be a little bit more reserved. Trent is going to stay back and ping crosses all over the field. Foden, Saka, each are going to stay wide initially, but we can cut inside manually with them when they receive the ball to feet. Harry Kane is also going to play just as a straight striker with Jude Bellingham in that number 10 role. I don't really want him dropping deep in a false 9. So that is the way that we will line up in our second group stage fixture against Denmark. A win here would pretty much secure qualification into the knockout stages for us. So let's head over to the Frankfurt Arena and see if we can put in a more convincing performance than we managed in the first tie. So it is first against second here in Group C in the second round of group stage fixtures here in Euro 2024. We got off to an inauspicious start against Serbia, who, to be fair to them, played very, very well. They came with a game plan and they executed it to perfection. They got bodies behind the ball. They defended deep, compact. They had 11 players behind the ball at various points in episode 1. And then when the opportunity came to them, they broke quickly and incisively. And really, it was probably a little bit unfortunate for them to lose 2-1. So we will be trying our best to put in a much better performance in this second fixture against Denmark, who probably are going to be our toughest opponents in Group C. They had a slightly easier time against Slovenia in episode 1 than we did. They beat them 3-1. We've had to quick sim the fixtures again, so they only came out with a 2-1 victory on the second effort. But you would imagine it's probably going to be Denmark, as Harry Kane plays Declan Rice in behind. Jude Bellingham is in a good position on the edge of the box. Couldn't quite find him. You would imagine it's going to be Denmark and England, the two to progress from Group C. So if we can get a win over Denmark, I'm fairly certain that would secure qualification to the knockout stages for us. I guess we'll have to see after the game, depending on how results go. But 6 points after 2 games, rarely a position from which you don't qualify. Jude Bellingham needs to try and get a grip of this game. We need to try and work the ball around in this system. I have tweaked the system slightly from the default option that you get when you load up the tournament. I've kept things pretty similar, but I've tried to balance the side a little more. Nicely worked between Phil Foden and Declan Rice, and Phil Foden is away once more on this left-hand side. What a strike across goal. Kasper Schmeichel parries the ball away to his left-hand side. Phil Foden just waiting for some options to open up in the middle. Runs of Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. They didn't quite open up though, so he just took the shot on himself, and it was a good effort. And Foden will now put the corner in. Harry Kane is there. What a save again, Kasper Schmeichel. Bellingham recycles. Konza turns the ball toward goal. That was a comfortable save from Schmeichel. The first one certainly wasn't. Save from Harry Kane's header was a fantastic reaction stop. And now it's Bukayo Saka's turn to run at the Denmark back line. Luke Shaw now on the overlap and an opportunity to cross. Jude Bellingham can't quite win the header. Harry Kane, though, competes for it on the edge of the box and wins it. And there's Trent. Can't quite find space to make a difference. Trent was decent at centre midfield in the first episode. I imagine that's the way that England are going to line up in their opening fixture. And really, I guess that's the plan for the tournament as a whole. It is opening day as I record this. Playing this game before I settle down to watch Germany-Scotland in the opening fixture. By the time this goes up on YouTube, England will have played. So hopefully we'll be celebrating their victory. Jude Bellingham. Foden with a good run in behind, but Bellingham just uses it as a decoy and then tries to find Declan Rice. This has been a more positive start now that we've settled into the game a little more. We are still struggling a little bit to find any real clear-cut openings. But we are working the ball around better. We are spending more time in the opposition half and in the opposition's final third. We're spending more time in possession of the ball as well, which is always something you like to see and something Gareth Southgate likes his England sides to do. Again, this is well worked. Saka finds Kane. There's Bellingham. Turns a shot towards goal, this time blocked. But again, that's very good football. Far more promising than anything we saw in the Serbia match. Good intervention, Trent. Harry Kane. Bit of a loose pass in search of Phil Foden, but Foden is away here on the left-hand side. Bellingham's challenging. Kasper Schmeichel comes out and claims before Trent can get his head to the ball. We do have Trent on stay back while attacking, but he is finding himself in some fairly advanced positions early here. Bukayo Saka. We haven't quite been able to isolate Saka on the right-hand side. He's so good in one-on-one situations, Saka. We really do want him to be isolated one-on-one with opposing fullbacks with the ball at his feet. We haven't really been able to work any of those kinds of situations just yet. Phil Foden's had a bit more success on the left-hand side. That's a nice ball in behind for Rasmus Højlund to chase. Luke Shaw, though, makes the intervention. And Denmark can settle on the ball a little now. Oh, really nicely worked. And into the feet of Rasmus Højlund. And Ezri Konsa did just enough. I'm not sure if that was... It wasn't Delaney, because that's Delaney there. But maybe we can get Kyle Walker isolated on the fullback. He's got the run on Anderson for sure. Harry Kane on the edge of the box. We could have done with a run across the 6-yard box there from Harry Kane. But instead he just held his position. Denmark trying to find a quick counter. Kyle Walker back in position to defend. And does a good job. Luke Shaw. Declan Rice wants the ball and he will get it. Bukayo Saka wants the ball and he will not. It's blocked by a Denmark player. But with that Denmark player's hand. Denmark, of course, will face our opponent Serbia in their final group stage game. And we will be facing Slovenia, who should, I imagine, be our easiest opponents. Yet to see how they will fare in the tournament. But as I said, I imagine it's going to be Denmark and England, and then Serbia and Slovenia battling out for third. Oh, Walker lofts it into the box. Bounces off the Denmark player. And then off Kyle Walker. I think that could have been a goal kick or a free kick for Denmark. Ends up being a free kick. Deep in their final third, though. A draw here would be a fine result as well. Obviously, we'd like to try and win. Winning, as I said, should secure progress to the knockout stages of the competition. And then we can be a little bit more relaxed in the final group stage game. But I think we take the Gareth Southgate approach. We take the pragmatic approach. We try and avoid conceding. We try not to lose rather than trying to win. Because if we get a draw here against Denmark, we won't have qualified, but we will have put ourselves in a very good position to do so in that final game, especially since we are against the easiest opponents in the group. Harry Kane. There's Trent. Switch of players on. He does find Luke Shaw in the end. Good pressing high from Declan Rice, and if Phil Foden can continue to do the same. We had an opportunity there, we just couldn't organise our press quickly enough. And we are getting the ball into good positions, we haven't quite got that X factor, that killer touch in the final third just yet. And that may be something we can do in terms of team tactics as well. We're currently on slow build-up and possession, whereas I think potentially we could change to direct passing in the opposition half. And that might give us a bit more attacking threat. Denmark with a free kick in a relatively dangerous area, especially when you aim for Bukayo Saka. Harry Kane comes away with the ball on the right-hand side. There's a couple of players up in support, but they were taken away well by Denmark. Harry Kane does find Phil Foden, though, who in turn finds Declan Rice. But this is where we need just that incisive pass, and it's just not on. We don't have the runs in behind. I think we do need to make that change, because we have the ball in a good position, but we just don't really have the attacking intent, the attacking threat. Don't have the impetus to run in behind at the moment. Done a very good job defensively, though. We've really kept Denmark at bay for the entirety of the first half so far. Has been a very England performance so far. But as we approach half-time, just a couple of minutes to go, maybe 5 including stoppage time, if we can nick a goal just before half-time, I think that would go a long way towards us getting 3 more points and qualifying from this group. Kyle Walker can't quite get there. Bukayo Saka makes the intervention, though, and maybe he can come away on a quick break and create that final opportunity. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Again, we just don't have the runs in behind. Phil Foden's made one. Has Luke Shaw found him? Not quite. Yeah, we're going to make that change at half-time. We're going to go to either direct passing or forward runs. Maybe we'll try forward runs first, because possession in our standard game plan isn't quite working out right now. Nice ball in behind from Phil Foden, though, and if we can get some players in the box, although Luke Shaw right now is ailing. Oh my god, it hits the post. The cross bounces off a Denmark player and cracks against the post. Kasper Schmeichel surely would not have got there. But a pretty closely fought first half. I would say we've had the better of it. We've looked more dangerous than Denmark in their final third than they've looked in ours, but we still haven't looked quite as dangerous as I would like. So let's have a quick look at those tactics before we come out for the second period. So we have made a couple of tweaks to the tactics as we come out for this second half. Luke Shaw is still on the field, but he may have to be taken off at some point during the second period as well. But we are now on forward runs. We're still on slow build-up, so when we have the ball in our own half, we should be relatively patient. But when we have the ball in the opposition half, now we should be a little bit more direct have a little bit more attacking intent. Harry Kane finds Phil Foden. There's Declan Rice, just plays a shot across goal, but it is blocked. One back by Bukayo Saka though. And there's Phil Foden with one of those runs in behind. Harry Kane couldn't quite find him. And Denmark clear away. Nice little touch from Trent. And into the feet of Harry Kane, but he couldn't quite turn away. John Stones does well to read that and win the ball back. Rasmus Højlund pressing high, but comfortably dealt with by Jordan Pickford. And there's Phil Foden again running in behind. I don't think he's quite going to get there. Almost on the second attempt. But the Denmark defender dealt with that well. Delaney. Again, good defender by John Stones, but Luke Shaw is caught one-on-one and headed towards goal, but straight at Jordan Pickford. And we can come away on this right-hand side with the pace of Kyle Walker, who again is caught one-on-one with the opposing fullback. Harry Kane the only target right now. Declan Rice at the back post as well. Neither can get to the ball, but Bukayo Saka can. And Jude Bellingham will strike from range and again blocked. Denmark, like Serbia, getting bodies behind the ball, protecting their own penalty area very well. And we will take Luke Shaw off for Kieran Trippier. Left back, really the one position on the pitch for England that isn't necessarily that strong. I mean, it's definitely deep. You've got a handful of players who can play at left back, but just none of them are necessarily world class. Luke Shaw, you would argue, probably is the best option. Kieran Trippier in years past may have been the best option. I'm not sure he's the best option anymore. Good ball in from Trent, headed towards goal by Ezri Konsa and parried away again by Kasper Schmeichel. He's been very, very good for Denmark today, and he really is the reason that the game is still level. Trent does well to win that and to find Phil Foden. There's Declan Rice. Oh, and there's too much on that. Far too much on that. I didn't even need to play that as a lofted pass, really, across to Kyle Walker. Could have just played that on the ground. But this is feeling better. This is the best system, or the best the system has felt, I would say, in the entire tournament so far. And again, we have an opportunity to break here. Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. Can he get in and get a shot away? Again, blocked by Denmark. One other slight tweak we might need to make is get more players in the box, because we've had the ball in those kinds of situations a number of times today. And I'm going to go with Trent again from this side for an outswinger. And again, it's a good ball. Cleared away though. Declan Rice, will he hit it? No, he won't. He'll lay it off to Bellingham, who doesn't manage to find the ball at his feet before Denmark managed to intervene. Thought that was a pretty comfortable situation for Bellingham, just on the edge of the box. Good interception, Kieran Trippier. Phil Foden can come away on the left-hand side now. Good run from Declan Rice in support. And that's got to be a free kick, and it is. So as we approach the hour mark, still all square here in Frankfurt. Very, very tightly contested game. And Trent will try and make the difference here with a free kick lofted into the box. It's in a really good area. Harry Kane challenges. And is that a penalty? I think it's a free kick. How? What can that possibly be for? What can that possibly be for? It looks as though Harry Kane was fouled, if anything. He went up for the header, and it looked like he came down fairly awkwardly. Well won by Bukayo Saka. Harry Kane fired Jude Bellingham. Can this be the opportunity to break the deadlock? And it's not. Really good opportunity. Arguably our best of the game, even though we didn't even get a shot away. But Bellingham was in space for a moment in the box with an opportunity to pull the trigger. But a really good recovery tackle by the Denmark defender. And we have to make sure we don't concede at the other end now. Phil Foden back doing his defensive duties. And now we can break. Denmark have committed players forward to this attack. Phil Foden, make that run. Oh, Declan Rice just tried to thread the needle, but couldn't quite. It was a difficult pass. Trying to thread it right between two Denmark players. And Phil Foden would have been in if he'd managed it. Ball does go out for a Denmark throw, and they are going to make a change or two here. I think Gareth Southgate is going to do the same. Christian Eriksen on for Denmark. And it's going to be a double change for Gareth Southgate and England. Eberechi Eze and Conor Gallagher each to come on. Declan Rice and Phil Foden, the players to make way. Eze, I think, has looked really good in the warm-up games. And I think he deserves his spot in the squad. He's a really, really exciting player. So good with the ball at his feet. And he comes away on the left-hand side here. Can he cut inside? Yes, he can. Can he find Harry Kane? Yes, he can. Kane gets his shot away. What a save. What a save by Kasper Schmeichel. I thought that was going to be the goal to finally break the deadlock. But Kasper Schmeichel makes his best save of the game, and that's saying something because he's made several good ones. But Trent ready to put the ball into the box from another corner here. 5 corners to 0 in favour of England. And again saved. The header this time, to be fair, straight at Kasper Schmeichel. And just punted it away with his feet. But what an opportunity Harry Kane had to break the deadlock there. And to be fair, that header from Ezri Konsa was one of the better opportunities we've had all game as well. 6 yards out. Not a free header exactly. Get up, get up, get up. And Denmark take the lead. Jordan Pickford diving away to try and make the save. It's instead blocked. The ball falls again to Rasmus Højlund. And he finds the back of the net. It's John Stones who makes the block, and it just bounces straight back to Højlund. And he's just in acres of space. Jordan Pickford has only just got back to his feet. He's going to his right-hand side. Maybe he should have just held his position because John Stones was there to make the block. If Højlund did go for that left side of the goal. Instead he went back the way that Jordan Pickford was coming from. And the ball hits the back of the net. And we are suddenly 1-0 down. Completely against the run of play. Completely against the run of play. We have been the better side in this game, no doubt. And certainly in this second half. Denmark have barely had a sniff in this second half, really. Kyle Walker in a position to cross. Not too many particularly good targets in the box, though. Trent instead lifts it towards the Denmark area. Dealt with easily, though. And what do we do now? What do we do now? I mean, we try and get an equaliser, obviously. What is the best way to go about that, though? Do we keep the team the same? Do we make another change? Do you have Ollie Watkins on the bench? We do also have Eze in some space on the left-hand side. It took a little longer for the pass to get there than I would have liked. But there is Harry Kane. Switch of play to Kyle Walker. Conor Gallagher with a run in behind, but Denmark are just sitting too deep. They're sitting too deep for that kind of ball to really be successful. And again, like Serbia, they've come with a game plan, and they have... I mean, they've ridden their luck at times, to be fair, Denmark. That's a really poor pass. They've ridden their luck at times, and they've relied on their goalkeeper heavily at times. But it looks like it's going to work out for them. Got to make the challenge. Well done. Let's go, Bellingham. Bellingham cannot be that slow, and he's not even that tired. And he can't even pass to a player who's 2 feet away from him. What is this? What is Bellingham, an 88 overall? He must have a decent enough acceleration type as well, and it just felt like it took forever for him to get moving there. 10 minutes to go in the game, though. I think we are going to have to make some more changes. Same for Denmark. Jonas Vind coming off. Matthias Jensen's come on. So 2 more changes. The final changes for Gareth Southgate. Saka and Kane to come off, Cole Palmer and Ollie Watkins to come on. And we need, in the next 10 minutes, to find an equaliser here, or we are going to make things more difficult for ourselves, really, than we would like. Ollie Watkins, Conor Gallagher finds the equaliser. Let's go. Screw an equaliser. Let's get a winner. Substitutes immediately make a difference. Ollie Watkins plays that ball in behind. We said earlier, Denmark just sitting too deep for that kind of a ball to work out, but Conor Gallagher makes the same run. Ollie Watkins finds him. And we are level once more here in Frankfurt. And that may be enough. I said screw the equaliser, let's go get a winner. Maybe I want to walk that back already. I did say in the first half a draw would be a fine result, not an ideal result by any means, but a fine result. With Slovenia our final opponents, you would imagine if we get a draw in this game, you have to imagine we'll finish with 7 points total, and that will of course be enough for us to qualify. In Cole Palmer, grab a winner though. Ollie Watkins with a good run through the middle. Denmark ailing at the back. Again, not really many options in the box to aim for. Conor Gallagher is on the edge of the box though, strikes towards goal. Jude Bellingham can't win their header. Trent can, but Conor Gallagher is backing away. Back to his defensive position. Whereas if he would have held his position, probably would have been able to pick up the second ball there. Or really, it would have been the third ball. Good challenge, Kieran Trippier. And again, really good defending. And he finds Kyle Walker on the right-hand side. There's Trent. That's an awful pass. Awful. Didn't put anywhere near enough on that for it to get where it needed to go. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was certain the net was going to ripple. I was certain Denmark had taken the lead. And they are going to press to try and take the lead as they bring Thomas Delaney off for use of Poulsen. So a signal from Denmark that they're going to go out and try and win this game. Do we do the same? Or do we settle for the draw? Eze finds Trippier. Conor Gallagher. Ollie Watkins in the box. It's actually Jude Bellingham and he scores the winner. I accidentally skipped the celebration. No. Jude Bellingham, for the second time in as many games, scores a late winner, even later than the one in the first episode. Of course, that has been wiped from history because we had to resim the game, and it was Foden and Kane who scored the second time around. But we saw at least Jude Bellingham score a late winner in the first episode. Has he done the same again here? What a difference Conor Gallagher has made. Scores the equaliser, sets up the winner. I thought it was Ollie Watkins in the box. I mean, he and Jude Bellingham look almost identical. Jude Bellingham slightly taller, slightly lankier, but they're even wearing pretty similar coloured boots. But it is Jude Bellingham, puts the ball in the back of the net. Kasper Schmeichel has been... Oh, come on, Konza, man, come on. Kasper Schmeichel has been excellent. And we've had to work very, very hard to beat him. But we have beaten him twice in this second half, and that could be the difference between the two sides. That could secure us qualification to the knockout stages already, and the referee's final whistle does go. And it is another narrow 2-1 victory. Definitely a more promising performance in the second fixture than in the first. The first was very frustrating, and this one, I mean, was frustrating, but for different reasons. It was frustrating because of the incredible performance by Kasper Schmeichel. We actually played much, much better football in this one. We looked a much better side. We created more opportunities, especially in the second half. That change to the forward runs rather than the possession play in the opposition half definitely made a difference. And it's evident from the match facts that we did put in a much better performance, and we did edge the game. 53% possession just edges it. Passes attempted are pretty much identical, but we did far more with possession than Denmark did, creating 13 shots with a 2.9 XG. That's always a little bit inflated on FIFA and FC, but still. We haven't quite qualified with that victory, but the chances of making it through to the knockout stages must be 98, 99%, something like that. If we lose to Slovenia in our final game and Denmark beat Serbia in their final game, there is a possibility that we don't go through, but we could even go through on goal difference even then. If we get anything at all against Slovenia or even a draw, progress to the next stage is guaranteed. So it's looking good here at the end of episode 2. I hope to see you in episode 3. Take it easy.